Hi everyone. Today I'm going to present to you a typical science question with application. And let's look at the question. Now, the question basically illustrates two rooms, as you can see here, room A and room B. And these two rooms are separated by a glass panel, all right? And after some time, they ask, where or on which side of the glass panel will the water droplets be formed? Is it on the left side or on the right side? And explain your answer. Now, when we look at this application science question, I think many of us would have seen examples of such phenomenon that we experience in our life. That sometimes we look out of the window and we actually see droplets of water appearing on the windows, the glass windows. And this water droplets certainly does not come from raindrops because it's not raining, but then we do see such phenomenon happening in real life. Now, in that particular example, the science concept that we should identify is clearly condensation. All right. Now, let's recap. When we talk about the process of condensation, what are the three main key points that we need to know? Right. First, what is condensation? Now, condensation basically is a process where water changes state from the gaseous state to the liquid state. Okay, from the gaseous state to the liquid state. Now, how did that come about? It is when warmer water vapor comes into contact with a cooler surface. Okay, so in the gaseous state, water is known as water vapor. So when it comes into contact with a cooler surface, what will happen is that it will lose heat. The warmer water vapor will lose heat and turn to water droplets. So these are the three key facts that we must know about condensation. Now, bearing that in mind, okay, and applying it to the context of the question about the two rooms. Now, the two rooms are at different temperatures. As we can see from the diagram, room A is at 32 degrees Celsius and room B is at 24 degrees Celsius. So, in other words, room A is warmer. Now, we know from what we have just recapped earlier on, condensation happens when there is warmer water vapor that comes into contact with a cooler surface. Okay, so in this particular example, where does the warmer water vapor come from? Now, with regards to the two room, obviously room A is warmer, it has a higher temperature, so therefore it is quite clear that the warmer water vapor must come from room A and not B. Okay, so that's the first fact that we need to establish. Next, now if we know that the warmer water vapor comes from room A, now then the warmer water vapor needs to come into contact with a cooler surface. So where is the cooler surface? Obviously, it is the glass panel. All right. So on which side of the glass panel would that be? Because the glass that there is actually a glass panel separating the two rooms, and one side of the glass panel is the one facing room A, and the other side is the one facing room B, or what we know from the diagram as the right side and the left side. So as can be illustrated from this arrow in the diagram, the cooler surface must be on this side, right? As you can see from the diagram, the left side, okay? Now, where will the water droplets be formed? Now, when the warmer water vapor, it comes from room A, it meets the cooler surface, which is the left side of the glass panel, then condensation will happen. It will, the water vapor will turn to water droplets, and the water droplets will form on the left side of the glass panel. Okay, as you can see from the diagram, the little blue dots there, they are used to illustrate where the water droplets will be formed. Now, so now that we have known where the water droplets will be formed, okay, we have to go back to our question. Okay, so first answer the question. The question asks, on which side of the glass panel will the water droplets be formed? All right, so very clearly, we need to be very precise to answer our question. So we have to say the water droplets will be formed on the left side of the glass panel, or best, you can illustrate by drawing in the water droplets in the diagram. Okay, now the next part comes, and this time round, you've got to really explain your answer using science concept. How did the water droplets form there? Okay, so we need to be very clear. Warmer water vapor comes from room A. Okay, so we have to be very clear, where does it come from? So we have to state that warmer water vapor in room A will come into contact with the cooler surface of the glass panel. Okay, so the cooler surface of the glass panel, and the water vapor will lose heat and condense into water droplets. So we have explained the whole process of condensation. And as what you can see here, those words that are highlighted in red, okay, they are the key points that you need to be very precise in explaining your answers. Okay, so let's go through again. First, you must illustrate that the warmer water vapor comes from room A. It meets the cooler surface of the glass panel, and the water vapor lose heat and condense into water droplets. Thank you very much.